look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, about in this educational video / documentary is this right here. A lot of gentlemen don't know who their real fathers are. And most time it's a result because their mother was a 304, just opening her legs up and letting men fly in and bust up in the club. You know what I'm trying to say. So what happens when a son bumps into his real father because he was adopted, because the woman gave up her own flesh and blood and put him on the adoption thing because she was such a 304 that she didn't want to take care of the child that she had from sleeping with a man. And this is a black man who was raised by white parents. What happens when you bump into your father? See, I'm making this because, let me get into this. It's watching. I'll explain it. Let's keep going. 1 second as I pull it up. Oh yeah, before I go any further, this is a bodyguard to celebrities. He is a bodyguard to Johnny Dang, Sweetie the rapper, Quavo the rapper. I think Quavo's a part of Migos, you know, with the whole, you know, Cardi B and all that stuff that's going on. This is he'll be able to prove that too. Let's keep going though.
Last episode, I talked about me meeting my biological family for the first time. Very emotional. Today, I'm going to talk about how I met my biological father for the first time. And I'm going to tell y'all something, man. That is something that very emotional, something that mentally it fucked me up. It fucked me up mentally. I told y'all how I wanted closure, but this type of closure, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man, I don't think I wanted it. So when I met my biological mother, she told me stories about my biological father, and who he was, where he's from, and all kinds of stuff, right? He's from Austin, Texas, talented basketball player, was going to the University of Kansas for basketball, on a basketball scholarship. When he found out that the biological mother was having a baby, and I was the baby, obviously, he kind of lost it. He went in a different direction. He decided to go to the streets. He decided to be this gangbanger. He decided to do all kind of crazy stuff. He kind of lost it, you know?
And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't believe the whole story. I think the woman lied to him about something because for you to go to school on a scholarship, be a great basketball player, and then you find out you got a baby on the way, then you say, oh, hell no, I'm doing 180, become a gangbang and a drug dealer and all these other things. There's something there that she ain't told this gentleman. There's just something there. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, but let's keep going.
This story is a little deep for me, so excuse me while I try to get it together. But because I just can't believe all this happened in my life, and people always are asking, are you okay? Everything all right? You never know what someone's going through in life. And I'm telling y'all now, me, mentally, I'm fucked up just from all this. So I hear the stories about who he is and where he's at. Let's fast forward to 2019 or 20. I'm bodyguarding from a good friend of mine who's now my brother, Johnny Dang. We're in Atlanta. We're walking. I can't remember where we were walking. I think we were walking in Lenox Mall or something like that. Some guy walks up to Johnny. Hey, Johnny Dang, I was one of your first ever customers. You gave me this gold the star in my mouth. And Johnny's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And you know me, I'm doing security. I'm, you know, making sure, hey, man, back up, you know, give him a space. You can talk to him. He looks at me and he says, hey, man, you look familiar. Do I know you? And I said, nah, but you look familiar. I said, what's your name, homie? He was like, my name's Baxter. I'm like, whoa. The last time I heard that name was when the biological mother mentioned that to me. And I was just like, holy shit. I was like, well, I know somebody named Baxter. He said, yeah, I'm Baxter Russell. And I lost it like, yo, you're Baxter Russell? And, you know, this is all in front of Johnny. So Johnny's looking like, what the hell's going on? You know, and I look at him and I say, are you my father? And this is weird because, you know, we're in the whole mall. We're in Lenox. And he was like, you know, oh, no, I don't think so. Oh, no. Only son I got is someone named Broderick. I was like, well, this lady named...
Now, check it out. He said his father. Now, this is the first time he met his father while he's at work protecting the celebrity known as Johnny Dang, who does grills. Diamond grills, gold grills for artists like Nelly and everything else, rich, famous people, high-end level people, right? And he meets his father while he's bodyguarding his client. And his son says, do you know this and that and this? But the daddy said, this would trip me out. The daddy said, I have a son, someone named Broderick or whatever, someone, as if he don't know him anyway. Say, I got a child, his name, someone, you know, his name Jeremy or something. That was crazy to me.
Roy Jackson mentioned that you, Baxter Russell, are the father to me biologically. He's like, yeah, I know her. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right then and there, we both knew immediately who we were to each other. The whole time Johnny's with us, and Johnny's like, Big Mike, take the rest of the day off. Go handle that. Like, he just left me in Lennox by himself. By himself, Johnny leaves me to let me handle this very emotional, wow. So Johnny leaves. I'm getting to know this guy, who these Baxter Russell guys, and we're freaking out. We're both overwhelmed, right?
Now, that's his daddy right there. That's the gangbanger that he just met that he never knew his entire life because he was raised by white people, because the mother was a 304 who slept with this man and then at the same time gave up her child for adoption, okay? Now, this man probably was a pookie already playing basketball. It could be. Something just seems off with the story about what the woman told him to me. You know what I mean? But it's a sad thing. Why I'm making this video? Because a lot of you gentlemen need closure. Because a lot of you don't know your daddies. Some of you will never know who your daddies are. I've had problems with my daddy. But I want you to know sometimes the closure is just knowing that the person isn't there. Because you can never, when you want closure, sometimes you want the answer. Why did you do this? Why did you do this to me? Why did you abandon me? Why did you treat me like shit? Why did you not want me, father? Why you didn't want me, daddy? Why would you like this? Why did you want me, mama? Why did you treat me like this, mama? Why did you do me like this? I'm your child. Why you do this to me? And it just hurts and hurts and hurts. And then sometimes when you get this quote unquote closure, it hurts worse because you're expecting a certain type of behavior from the person that hurt you. You expect them to be remorseful. You expect them to be repentant. You expect them to want to repent and change and form a relationship with you. But they are no good for nothing people. People are who they are. Even when you present the wrong to them, you know what you did was wrong to me, daddy. You know what you did was wrong to me, mama. And they understand what they did was wrong, but they can't change their ways because they are set in their ways, especially when they are older. They still think they know everything and you can't change them. And you have to accept the fact and move on that you might have had a piss poor father. You might have had a piss poor mother. It doesn't mean that you have to be like them. If your daddy was an alcoholic and a drug addict, you don't have to be like them. If your mama was an alcoholic and a drug dealer and a hoe, you ain't got to be like her either, sister. You don't have to be none of that shit. Unfortunately, we cannot pick our parents, but we can pick the type of parent that we're going to be to our children. So that's why I made this video. Because a lot of you are still dealing with past hurts from people who are supposed to be your primary caregiver, who wasn't living up to that title, who wasn't good to you, who didn't know what the hell they were doing when they were raising you. You may need to get therapy, but I want you to learn how to forgive if you possibly can. I know it's hard. If you can't forgive, then you feed them with a long-handed spoon, you put them way over there, and you deal with them where you need to deal with them. But you can't change nobody, and you can't change the past. Forgiveness is not accepting what was done to you. Forgiveness is understanding and accepting what was done to you and moving on. You're not approving that behavior, but you understand that behavior took place, so therefore you move on. And this man about 6'4", 6'3", big, and still hurt from the pain that his daddy wasn't there, his mama wasn't there. There's a lot of black boys going through that today. And he's one of the few that actually made it out that situation to where he's successful. The majority of these black kids turn to the streets and become gangbangers like his daddy, or sell drugs like his daddy, or get on drugs like his daddy, or become single mothers at an early age around 13, 14, 15 like their mamas was. Do drugs like their mama was.
Right, this is crazy. This is we hang out, okay?
Let's go to part 2. I had to play part 1 to give you the story at the beginning. Now, part 2 is really crazy. 1 second as I pull it up, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second, looking for it. There it is.
This is we hang out, okay? But it was just everything was awkward, man. It wasn't what y'all thought it would be. Like, I thought I was just gonna be this happy kid who finally gets to meet his biological dad. Nah, man, this man got drunk because he was nervous. The first thing he did, he took me to a strip club. Then he takes me to a club. He takes me to a lounge. We're just hanging out, not talking, just.
Now, I want to explain that. His daddy is so out of touch with being a father. He doesn't understand fatherhood. And the father trying to do it like this. My son is a grown man. I met my son for the first time as a grown man. Okay, so let me do for him what grown men his age would normally like. which is go to strip clubs possibly, like to see women and maybe have a drink with your old man and stuff like that. But he's not understanding that that's not what he's looking for. When you're looking for your father, and if you didn't have a good father and you're trying to make it work with your good father, you're not looking for those type of things. You're looking for a connection and you're looking for a bond. Okay. And one of the most tragic things there is when a son cannot have a connection with his father. That's why I don't like gentlemen who make babies and leave those babies out for the wolves to raise. I hate that shit, man. You are causing trauma. You are making men. Some of these young boys grow up beating women because they seen daddy do it, or they don't know how to be a father or a husband because they never saw father there because father was a hoe himself and went out there in the streets and did hoe as shit and wouldn't take family serious just as much as the mother did. You get what I'm saying? But this boy, this man, wanted his father. Inside of this man that's over 6'3" or 6 foot, probably over 200 something pounds pure muscle, he's still a little child inside his heart, meaning he still long for a good father. And this is not taken away from that man. I understand where he's coming from, but he want a connection. He want to feel love from his father. See, let me tell you something, ladies. When you put the man out the house, a man could be 50 years old and still wanting his daddy. Don't mean he got daddy issues, but he still want his daddy, man. He still want his mama. He still want his daddy at 50, 60 years old because he never had the opportunity to have that relationship with that. Don't think that because a boy grows up into a grown man that he is not still missing a piece of him that can only be fulfilled or placed in or filled in by his own father, man. Fathers are important, man.
Just sitting there, just chilling. And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we here? I want to get to know who this guy is. Then he takes me to the hood in Atlanta and he's showing me off to all the gangsters like, yo, this is my son. This Big Mike. He'll beat all y'all up. You know, I'm just sitting here like, I'm one deep here. Like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing that? It wasn't the same experience I had when I met my biological family on the mother's side versus this. It was something that really just, man, I can't even do this because it's going to make me mad. I'm hanging with him and this man tried to sell me drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needed money. He's like, hey, you know, buy this off of me. I'm just looking at him like, what? Nothing about this was good. Nothing about this was something that I want to brag about, man. Like, it was painful. This is somebody I can honestly say I don't want to become. It's scary. And I hate to say this and degrade him as a human being, but like, the interaction was horrible. So
when he said this is somebody that I do not want to become, there's a such thing as good role models and there's bad role models. Good role models show you what you want to be and what you need to become. Bad role models show you what you shouldn't be and what you should never become. So it's good to have a bad role model sometimes, even though it's painful. His father is showing him what not to become. And his mother has taught him what type of woman to stay away from. Bad role models.
Degrade him as a human being, but like, the interaction was horrible. So while we're in Atlanta, you know, everything was weird and stuff. I leave, I go home, I'm telling my family about everything that happened, and then, you know, we just get into it over social media. Now he wants to fight me. Now he's telling
his daddy wants to fight him.
Social media. Now he wants to fight me. Now he's telling me, if you got a problem with me, you know, we can get it off our shoulders. And I'm like, man, damn, if that's how you feel. So apparently he's this, you know, he's a OG blood out there in Atlanta. A lot of people fuck with him out there, you know, they respect him, all kinds of stuff. But me, you know, I lived a different life. And then one thing I won't respect, you know, and I tell people is if you make fun of the people that raised me,
now that's his parents that adopted him. So they're white people. Like I said, I'm not racist. I love all ethnic groups, man. I just treat you the way you treat me. That's the ones who took the time to invest good morals and standards into this black man, that white woman and that white man. Okay. And it's sad that the black father and the black mother could not invest those same qualities in that man. Those white people right there put into him morals, a work ethic. He's successful because of what these two white people taught him. I am so against racism. I do believe in systemic racism. I know it's real, but I am against racism. I wish we could go to an idealistic world where we all would just love each other and be real with each other and accept each other for who we are, but we don't live in that. But I am thankful that these two particular people that are white took this black man in and helped this black man live through his childhood, taught him how to be a good man, you know what I mean? Kept him from the streets, kept him from situations that probably would have landed him in prison, kept him off of drugs, kept him from breaking into other people's houses, kept them from, all kind of things that we see in our community. It don't matter if they white or not. If they was Mexican, if they was Samoan, if they was Indian. I am thankful that there's another black man out there who is doing something positive instead of doing something destructive and chaotic that can bring more harm into our community. Okay? I am disappointed in the fact that his biological parents could not do that for him. I hate that for him. Even though he had good primary caregivers that was adopting parents, he still want his family. But it's just life. It's just how the cookie crumbles. We got to do better, y'all.
Taught me how to be a man, my parents, my adopted parents, I'm gonna have an issue with you. The whole time he kept saying, I can't believe those white people raised you. I can't believe those white people did this, those white people did that. Well, guess what those white people did? They raised your son the right way. And I'm gonna leave it at that. So don't ever think that those white people did something wrong. They did something that you couldn't do. And I'm man enough to say that on camera. I'm man enough to say that to your face. And I'm man enough to get it off my shoulders if I have to. But that's not what I'm here for. So all I'm saying is like, a lot of the times, people are hitting me up now like, man, I want closure just like you. Some closure is not good. This closure is not good at all. This caused a lot of issues, man. Me mentally, it's hard for me sometimes. Like I see the situation, the scenario I went through, and I look at my kids and I'll be like, I could never in a million years do that. I'm not finna sell my kids no drugs. I'm not finna try to go toe to toe with my kid. I'm not trying to do nothing crazy, man. I want to be an amazing father to my kids. And that's what I'm gonna do. I just hate that I had to go through that, man. It really sucks, man. I lived a crazy life, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I'd do it all over again. This is how I met my biological father, man, and it's definitely one for the books. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he's doing well, but the relationship between me and him, there's none. I hope that he watches this, and I hope that he understands how I feel about it, because, it wasn't a good experience. You know what I mean? It wasn't what I expected. I mean, fuck this.
Man, I hate that man went through that. I hate to see another black person suffer, brother. I really do. I'm glad he ended up good though, but damn.